Hey everyone, it's Will, Gamer Dad, with another video for you. So first of all, I want to give a shout out to one of my YouTube members, Ornata Panitawan. Thanks for your support. In any case, our video today is going to be level 10 Cetie's Manifest Weapon Second Battle. Now if you haven't already, make sure you like and subscribe to my channel, I really appreciate it. Also, I do have a Patreon account for those who want to support me this way. So the main thing about Cetie's weapon is that obviously as a level 10 second battle, it's going to be a lot tougher than the first one. Now he is fire-based physical, so you do have two options, and I'll show both of them in this video. First of all, we're going to go with an all-water team. Fire obviously is weak to water, or vulnerable in this case. Most manifest battle weapons do not have any weaknesses per se where you do double damage, so you'll have to rely on just dealing the normal amount of damage plus any grass that you have. So first turn, you notice that I applied an int down to Retro. And the reason for that is he does the Retro's gift, which is basically an explosion that does physical fire damage. And so you want to have int down to at least mitigate some of the damage. We also have practical cast by mana. And the reason for that on turn 1 was obviously most of Cetie's attacks are going to be physical, although they are fire based as well. So we are not using Aurora Force with Mariel in this case. We're just going with heavy hitters, Cetie with Manifest, Dewey, as well as Leclerc with Manifest. Note that we also did use Aiming Flood on turn 1 to control power by having power down on everybody. Now, Aiming Flood isn't 100% guaranteed, so keep that in mind when doing this battle. And you can see that Cetie is rotating between all his moves. Note that they're all single target moves other than Retro's Gift, which keeps on attacking you. And obviously, Clock being the black droid, or support droid, helps boost either shielding, or speed, or damage. Cetie also has a 4-turn rotation. You can see that he alternated between doing the Valor Chant, which decreases your speed and int. Now in the case of using physical fighters, you don't really have to worry too much because the int down doesn't really affect your damage DPS. However, obviously if you use a mage heavy team, it's going to be a big problem. Now note that this is the 4th turn and actually the 5th turn again, so this is turn 1 of the rotation. And if you're wondering specifically why I brought in Cyrus in the VC at this point, it's because I'm trying to time it such that the I guess the effect from Mistopheles faded right here so that your characters can do as much damage as possible. And obviously we're going to use Epic Tail to apply water resistance debuff. We had Cyrus come in with his VC, which applies physical resistance debuff. We also do have the option of using Dragon Music, although we're using Dragon Hand to do as much hits as possible. And the reason for that is we don't establish Water Zone here, and so in this case, instead of having a established AF boost each time, you do have to rely on multi-hits, which is why you saw me using a lot of Oasis Wave earlier turns before the AF. Normally, obviously, if you could stack multiple stacks of water resistance debuff, it would have been better. That being said, during the AF, I only applied 1 stack of Epic Tail. So if I had to redo it again, maybe I would apply 2 stacks in order to maximize the damage on your team. Being that, again, you're losing 1 hit to power your AF. Also, you do have Steam Assist on Dewey to increase the power of all your water-based attacks as well. So you do have a few pieces to really boost your water DPS. Keep in mind that Manifest Cetie is very, very powerful in that her Epic Tail as well as Oasis Wave has been enhanced such that instead of the water resistance debuff only being 1 turn, it is 3 turns. And so in this case, I would recommend that if you are tackling this with a similar type team, or obviously if you have a better water DPS team such as Nikkei AS, Shani AS, or any of those kind of things, keep in mind that I am using a heavy dose of Grasta, 20, 20, 30 in most cases to boost my elemental damage. If you do have Yuna AS, I'm sure you can do a 2-turn finish. I think all zones of the where the manifest weapon is vulnerable to should have a 2 or 3 turn finish at most. And I will say here that for those who haven't gotten mana from IDA Part 3, make sure you get there and try to get her as quickly as possible. Mana has been so instrumental in defeating a lot of the optional content in the game, so I would definitely say that she is even though she's free, is one of the top tier support that I find anyways to beat these bosses. Just the fact that you have flexibility in either applying practical to increase your physical resistance, or you have Mephistopheles or Queen of Hearts to int down or power down, while int up and powering up the other side depending on your Lodo and team members. Now in this case, we're going to do the opposite, where we're going to use a fire and establish fire zone. So of course Garyu AS is a free character and the only free zone character, and so by having him rotate in turn 1, you essentially are able to do a 2-turn finish where you're going to do a bar. And keep in mind that in this case we're using mana with Flare Thrust on her 3rd move, so she can actually contribute to the damage plus continue with the AF bar, being that her move is actually a fire damage move. Also, you do have Gaia Crown, where it basically boosts everybody by 35%. You can see that all those boosts there, power, speed, and int. And so you're powering everybody, but in this case, you're only using the AF, so they don't have a chance to do anything to you. And if you're, do it properly and have a little bit of luck, you can clearly see that the last hit from AS Garyu, Inferno Demise, was able to end the battle. Again, a reminder that if you do target Cetie, once he dies, the droids behind him instantly die as well, and so the battle ends right there. Now again, I'll show you a loadout. You've seen manas already, and here are my fire DPS. So again, very heavily grasted with 20, 20, 30, as well as VC grasted for some of them. So, my recommendation to anyone who's struggling with a lot of these endgame battles and manifest weapon battles is, once you get past to chapter 56, really try to grind through that present day Garrelia dungeon. There are videos out there, my own as well as others. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.